$120 million? Guess I don't need to do this in my head. Hello everybody and welcome to another Talk Nerdy to Me video. Before we get into anything, I just want to note that this video series is now going to be moved to its own channel, as I think that it doesn't necessarily fit the brand of Nacho and Dog Gaming. So we're still very closely tied. You'll see it's still called Nacho and Dog's Talk Nerdy to Me with Nacho, but it is going to be on a new channel. So if you were watching from the old channel, just go up there and hit that subscribe button, would ya? So come in every day and hear me talk about some newsy news. Okay, I'll wait. Right, $120 million. That is the estimate for the opening weekend of Beauty and the Beast. Some say 120, some say a little less at 100. Even if it keeps on track for those numbers, that will be the fourth highest grossing movie in March ever, behind Batman, Superman, Batman v Superman, Alice in Wonderland, and Hunger Games. Those are the top three right now. So anywhere between 100 and it would have to top 120 to beat out Alice in Wonderland right now. I doubt you'd remember this, but back when the movie first came out, Beauty and the Beast was actually the first animated movie nominated for an Oscar, and it did actually win 2 Oscars, not as Best Picture. It won Best Original Score and Best Original Song. So 2 music-related movies, but was nominated for Best Movie as well. So Emma Watson's pretty good, and we're hyping up this movie a lot, but is it going to hit that $100 million mark? Who knows? Disney is banking on yes. Speaking of movies that are doing better than we thought they would, Deadpool 2 has confirmed that it is getting Drew Goddard. Guys, I've said so many times I'm bad at, I have to read the name every time. Drew Goddard is going to be a consultant writer on Deadpool 2, so he's not taking over the reins completely, but he is going to be writing as well. So he helped write Daredevil and Cloverfield, so that's a pretty big deal. Speaking of comic book movie news, Matt Reeves is now officially on board to direct the Batman movie, when or if it ever happens. Now, if you remember, Ben Affleck was supposed to direct and star in the movie, and he still will be a co-producer, is my understanding, but Matt Reeves has taken over reins as director. Now, this is funny because it was just last week Matt Reeves tweeted out that he had walked away from negotiations with Warner Brothers, but he did say that they could continue talking when cooler heads prevailed. So obviously it was a heated discussion in some fashion, but at this point he has gone back and he is now the official director for this movie, if or when it ever happens. Is it ever going to happen? Do you guys think this movie is ever going to happen? Are we ever going to get a Batman solo flick? Hashtag Son of Batman for Batman. Hashtag, yeah, Son of Batman for Batman. And going on and talking more and more about maybe some nerdy movies that people are looking forward to, the Uncharted movie has apparently an R-rated script written. No one at Naughty Dog has read the script, no idea what the movie is about, let alone its tone. Wow. So Joe Carnahan, who is the writer for the upcoming Uncharted movie, which a lot of us are looking forward to, has apparently written this movie as it should be, which means it is written to have an R rating. Now, whether or not this will work, I am the very model of a modern major general. Whether or not this will actually work might change. R-rated video game movies are not super popular. This may not happen, considering Gore Verbinski said he could not raise enough money, and I was going to talk about this the other day. He could not raise enough money to get an R-rated Bioshock movie off the ground. And Guardians of the Galaxy director James Gunn said he couldn't get an R-rated Hitman movie off the ground, and that's Hitman. That's a movie about assassins, and one specific assassin. So Uncharted at this point is written as an R-rated movie, but we'll see what gets through to the censors and what the producers and what the studio's saying, if there's going to be any studio interfering in that. My vote's on yes. We now know the very first person you're going to meet in the Andromeda Galaxy in Mass Effect 3. We now know the very first person you're going to meet in the Andromeda Galaxy in the new Mass Effect Andromeda series. We now know the first person you're going to meet in the new Mass Effect Andromeda game, and it is none other than Game of Thrones and Hunger Games and Elementary star Natalie Dormer. Is it Dormer? Oh my god, all these years I've been saying Dorner. Natalie Dormer. And speaking of Mass Effect, apparently selecting your gender will change the storyline. And in Nintendo Switch news, 2 days ago I said we were going to get news every single day. That would still be true if I didn't miss yesterday's video. The eShop will not be available at launch, or at least not all of it. So there will be a couple of indie games, but there won't be all of the virtual console. You can't play all of the games, not right at launch, but they will come eventually. And some of the early access Switches haven't gone out, and they've had their battery life tested. So Nintendo claimed 6-hour battery life, depending on usage, and they did say that you could get about 3 hours playing Breath of the Wild. Looks like those times are in place, and they've been tested, and depending on the features, the brightness, whether it was in airplane mode or not, it's going to last just about 3 hours playing that specific game. So you could stretch that out if it's a less intensive game, or it'd go faster if you had the brightness way up and you were using the Wi-Fi and all that stuff as well. But basically, it looks like a 3 hour for real intense gameplay life, and it takes about 30 minutes to charge for an hour. So half of the amount of time that you're going to be playing it will have to be used for charging. So charge it at nighttime and then bring it to work so you can ignore work for a couple hours. And great news for the, as my friend put it today, couch co-op players. All Halo games in the future will have split screen. If we want to talk about a couple of things you missed yesterday, NASA's found 40 light years away 7 Earth-sized planets in the same solar system that are very close to each other, 6 of which are rocky planets like our own, and 3 of which are in the solar system's habitable zone, which means not only is this most likely the solar system where we can find or develop life in space, extraterrestrial life, but if we can find a way to access them 40 light years away, they are probably the 3 planets that are most likely to be chosen for terraforming, based on the fact that once one of those planets gets settled and controlled and viable, we might be able to just jump to the next planet, which is a lot closer than, say, in our solar system, and maybe terraform that one as well. On top of that, the actor taking over Chewbacca's role let out a heartfelt letter, which I will post below, to Peter Mayhew and to the fans, saying how honored he was about taking over the role of Chewbacca, and how important it is, and how important it has been in film and society and sci-fi and all that stuff. So good for him for releasing a letter like that. It's not easy to take over mantles of old characters, especially old beloved characters, and especially for an actor who probably wanted to continue doing it, but physically was unable to do so. So Peter Mayhew hopefully is proud of this new actor and what he's going to accomplish, and hopefully he'll be good for the role. I can't imagine there's that much involved in it. Peter Mayhew didn't even do all of the scenes of Chewbacca in A New Hope. The Force Awakens. There we go. Guys, that is it. Like I said, we're going to be on a new channel from here on out. It's just simply a logistics thing. If you want, you can go up and hit that subscribe. Make sure you turn on the notifications, and like, follow, comment, share. Do whatever you can to help us get growing. Thank you. Have a good day.